Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Now, as you're wondering why is like the entire like view black, it's simple. I ran out of drawing paper and I basically don't have like any ink left in my pen to just sketch some stuff like I did in my previous videos. Please wait. I prefer to have my door closed on my room when I make my videos. That way no one can just walk in and find me talking to my phone and then accuse me of talking or like video chatting with that one friend of mine who no one likes. Now it would be really painful if they were to find out, so please don't tell that. And I just spent the first minute of this video ranting about why I want my room to be shut. I'm that kind of person. So, as I promised to a fan of mine who saw my previous videos, I am going to start a mini series, more specifically a 5-part one. Basically, you're going to be like listening to me explaining some story elements and stuff. Basically, it's going to be like short videos, like that. You see, um made a video about my idea for a new Amnesia game. If you if you saw it, you would understand. But if you did not, please see it because it'll be very complicated. I swear. So yeah, I'm going to start a 5-part mini series. The first 3 parts take place before my idea for like the events of my idea for the new Amnesia game, and yeah, and the 2 parts like take place after. I know this is very confusing, but please stay with me here. I'm trying to get to 500 subs so I can feed myself, and I just wasted 2 minutes of your time. So let's begin. Also, I just assume that you like already watched my previous video because if you have not, go watch it. I swear, you will regret it. Okay, now where do we go? August 10, 1938. The protagonist of my idea for a new Amnesia game, Victor Clement or Clement, um, talks with his father, Henry Clement. Once again, he's the protagonist of Amnesia the Bunker, if you remember him. Now, also remember this is non-canon. Boom, 3 minutes wasted. Now, he talks with his father, and his father talks about his days in World War One. Because if you remember, Amnesia the Bunker takes place in World War One. Victor Clement is curious about this. He then finds his father at some point crying and looking at an old photo of him and his friend Agustin Lambert, who's also a character of Amnesia the Bunker. Now, Victor asks his father about it, and he tells him it is a friend of mine. Thing is, he happens to retain a phone number, and in case you're asking, phone telephones, I mean like telephones, old telephones were around during like the time Amnesia the Bunker takes place. So it's logical to assume that like Henry Clement and Augustine Lambert would have like phone numbers back at home, and phone books exist. So yeah. By the way, did you know that phone books existed? They're basically books with people's names on it and their phone number. Yeah, getting a girl's number was that easy back then. Sometimes I wish in the older eras, but remember that this is before smartphones and modern computers, and I can't live without those basically. Now let me continue. So Victor Clement contacts the Lambert family. So he calls, and then Agustine Lambert's mom, let's just call her Laura Lambert for the sake of simplicity, um answers. Victor Clement explains everything. And I'm not talking about like everything. I'm like talking about like he just says that, hey yo, You know Agustin Lambert, his comrade survived the war actually and just told me about him, so I decided to call because I'm curious about war times. And then Laura Lambert, or like Agustin Lambert's mom, was like, you know what? Yeah, yeah. So that's what happens. They agreed on a meeting place, and long story short, Laura Lambert and Victor Lamont agree on a park to have a meeting place, to be the meeting place. Actually, that was a mistake. I didn't mean park, like somewhere in the streets, cause I set it in Denmark. It's set in Denmark. Yeah. In case you're asking, how they're like supposed to be in France or like in Paris, because in Amnesia the Bunker we do know that they are from Paris. Well, long story short, Denmark. Because that's how I come up with a logical story. Because it would make no sense if it were set in France. Otherwise, the Frenchies would have like gone to the trenches when the Germans came, and the Germans coming is a essential part of the lore of my made up or fan made Amnesia game. And no, do not search for that on Game Jolt or like custom stories. It is just my idea for an Amnesia sequel, but not an existing custom story or mod. Now, long story short, she brings her daughter along, Valentine Lambert, the daughter of Agustin Lambert, and basically Victor Clement basically likes her for her maturity and her beauty, but yeah, that's not the important stuff. It's a fan fact, and I like to add depth to my characters. And yes, I do indeed aware I have the worst character development ever. So they basically talk about some of that stuff, and she asks what happened to Agustin Lambert because they basically never got any trace of him. Because if you remember, in Amnesia the Bunker, he basically died, and the only person was who basically knew of that he actually died, Henry Clement, protagonist, said nothing because he was in a German concentration camp, and in the lore of this custom story or fan made concept of mine, he never says anything about it. So yeah, that's basically the first part. Why is this important? I don't know. Was this a waste of my time? Maybe. Okay, peace.